In this video, we'll be talking about how to create a percussion sampler in which each key, rather than playing a different note from the same sample, will be playing a specific recording that will be replacing a specific percussion sound. In order for us to do this, we have to take a look at our percussion assignments. And here I have a list of MIDI assignments that are the industry standard in terms of creating a percussion sampler. As you can see, I have about seven highlighted items: the bass drum, hand clap, electric snare, which tends to be pretty much not just electric snare, but the industry snare, your 3 hi-hats, closed hi-hat, high hi-hat, and pedal hi-hat, and a crash cymbal. Now, these are the 7 that I've highlighted for now, but if you are looking for a specific sound in your percussion, or if you want to specifically replace cowbell, you can go ahead and replace the cowbell instead of perhaps maybe the high floor tom right here. All right. So the very first thing you should do is take a look at this and kind of figure out what particular sounds you're going to be looking for in replacing these. So if I were to take a look at bass drum, I might be like door shutting, or a car door shutting or something like that. A clap, you want something that snaps, and so you might want to do like either just a snap, or the electric snare. You might want to, this point is kind of your creative mind. There's no limitations in terms of what you're looking for, but the goal is you want to look for something that is similar in tone quality as those instruments. We all know what a snare sounds like. If you don't know what a hi-hat sounds like, let me know, and I can kind of show you what that sounds like, bringing a hi-hat. But it's a pretty familiar sound. Crash cymbal, clearly we all know what that sounds like. And cowbell, we all know what the cowbell sounds like. So the goal is for you to think of sounds that you might be able to find that will be able to replace those 7. We definitely want no less than 7. So 7 is the minimum amount of tones that we're looking for in your sampler, and that's the goal. After you have your sounds recorded, we're going to create our project. We're going to get everything set up. So we're going to create a software instrument track. We're going to change it to sampler just to get things ready before we do any more, bringing in inputs, bringing in any sounds. So we just have that there ready to go. And now we have to bring in our sounds. So we're going to go into find the sounds I've downloaded. And what I did is I have an app on my phone. I have Audio Recorder, which is part of the Sony Media Group apps. But if you have an iPhone, it's very easy. All you have to do is you have to use the voice memo, and then you can email it to yourself, or if you have a Mac, you can also use AirDrop in order to send those files to yourself. So I've got these 3 files here. I'm on a different computer today than I was the last time I made a video, so I have to recreate my melodic sampler later. And so I'm going to mute that, and I have here a whole bunch of different sounds that I recorded. I have the unlatching of my guitar case. I have the closing of my guitar case. I have my classroom door, which is quite loud. And then I have light switches, other doors shutting. I think I have door handle. So I've got quite a bit, and then I've got some snaps down here. Just like we did in the last class, we have to edit these wave files so that when we push down our key, we know that it's going to start immediately. You don't want any gaps from when you push down any key or any button, depending on what kind of interface you're using, a trackpad or keyboard. So we want to make sure that we have everything ready to go as soon as we hit that button. All right, so this is a good bass. I don't know if you can hear that. It's a really good bass. Got a lot of body to it, so I'm going to zoom in and cut it. Again, just keep in mind, to cut, you want to make sure that your cursor goes below this line right here, and it turns into that crosshair. You click once, creates a line, click twice, cuts. You could also highlight. If you highlight the area and then click up here, it will cut that zone. So there's various different ways you can cut, but I'm going to give some space, and there we go. I'm going to zoom back to this area. Kind of like it. Kind of like a clap or a snap. Maybe a snap, or yeah, we'll figure it out. But I'm gonna give just a little bit of space at the end for it to resolve. We don't want it to have an audible click or an audible ending per se. So not too much, but just enough. So let's see. Yeah, because there's that little bit of an echo there. All right. Let's skip over to here. There's a lot of sound going on here, as you can see. I'm going to close this. A lot of sound. We have just this area. All right, we have just this area. We have... Oh my. Let's go. Could be like another bass drum if I wanted to. So I have a lot of tom stuff. So I'm going to cut this right here. I'm going to do it the other way. So I'm going to highlight this area and then click up here. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. Click here, and let's see what this is. It's kind of a... Yeah, another tom. Keeping myself busy here. Alright, here we go. Something different. No, I don't like any of that. So we're going to move over here. Thank you. Here we have a nice kind of hi-hat sound. You can see that it immediately starts. This is the light switch in one of the practice rooms being flipped on. And if we listen, it's going to have like a nice bright, almost hi-hat sound to it. So fantastic. I'm going to cut it. Going to bring it over here. There's the other one. The light switch being turned off. And it's got a very different tone quality to it, so I'm quite excited about it. All right, so as you can see up here, we have a whole bunch of cut pieces and a whole bunch of gaps in between. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean up, cut everything in between that we don't necessarily need. And let's zoom in here. No, right here. Don't need that. Or that. Undo. Think I didn't use that. All right. Great. We're going to close this. Going to make this a little bit bigger. So and this smaller. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 tones, which is fine. You can have more, you can have less, but we want 8. My software instrument track disappeared, so we're going to create that again. Going to move that to the top. Create our sampler. We're going to hit edit. So now we're going to add our tones to our database library for our sampler to access. And we're going to highlight them all by dragging and clicking. Then we're just going to drop them in. And when we drop them in, this prompt right here pops up. And I want you to take a quick look at it because it's got three options. We have the auto map option where we can, if we were to do a key, it would put it in the key. It would take a look at the file, figure out what key it is in, and it would put it as the home key. We're not dealing with keys here, we're dealing with drums. So we can take a look at the drums. Drum zone without range, root key from the audio file. To be totally honest, there's a lot of chances of it going horribly wrong. So we're gonna pick contiguous zones with a width of 1 note. And we're gonna start on C1 because if we go back to our MIDI assignments, it starts on C1. So that's fantastic. That's what we want. So we're going to hit OK. And here we go. We have all of our notes right here. This is a list. And down here we have a graphic visualization of where those are. Not bad. However, they're in different spots. In the next part of the video, we are going to be taking a look at how we can change all this to match what's going on right here. So take some time, get yourself caught up to this area. When you get to this area, you can start the video again, but until then, pause and get to work to getting to this point where you have a list of items, clean audio in your sampler. Good luck.